Hello learners, in this lecture we will see what is durability, what is the significance of durability and how it has to be understood. So to put it in a more general way, we'll think something like this. Let us say it's a very winter season, then what we try to do? We try to cover ourselves, right? That means we're actually trying to protect ourselves. In the same way, even the concrete structures what we put up, they also have to be durable because they have to resist the rainy season. In the month of rainy season, around 3 to 4 months, let us say, it has to resist the rain, and in the summer season it has to resist the hot sun what it comes. And also, if there is a high speed of winds, my structure has to resist everything, isn't it? So it's something related to durability. Not only buildings, whenever we try to purchase any materials, we always think in terms of durability. Suppose if I go to purchase a cloth, I just look at the way it is kept. I mean, I try to check the quality of this from durability point of view, because once I purchase this, I want this to long last for at least 2 3 years. Similarly, most of the time when we go to purchase the sandals, we also try to see the durability of that, right? And over that we question the shopkeeper whether I can use this in the rainy season or not, right? Whether I can use it during the running. I mean, we always ask them, I want to use it during running for running. I want to use it for walking as well, right? Even nowadays the watches what you get, they're also water resistant, right? So everywhere we have durability. In the same way, my structure also has to be durable in nature. And also, if you see the paint nowadays, you can see it's written here durable, long lasting, something which has to last for a very long period of time, right? So having said this, we'll try to see what exactly is durability. So durability is a property of a concrete by virtue of which it is capable of resisting the disintegration and the decay. The next is that the concrete should be durable with proper regard to the various weathering conditions, such as the atmospheric gases, the moisture changes, the temperature variations, as we saw, like rainy season, then during the summer season and all, right? Yeah. So if you refer Indian standard, IS stand for Indian standard. Indian standard 456 2000 defines durability as a durable concrete is a one that performs satisfactorily in the working environment during its anticipated exposure conditions during the service. The next point is that a durable concrete will retain its original form, quality, serviceability when exposed to this service environment, right? Whenever you put any structure to use, let us say you're putting up a house. So we want that house to last at least for 30 40 years, so that it will remain in the original shape. The quality will be good, it will be serviceable. That means there won't be a lot of corrosions and all, there is no spalling of concrete and all. So where and exposed to its service environment, whatever is the environment, maybe during rainy season, winter season, whatever it may be. Yeah. So, yeah, now other than that, we have another 2 points. Durability of hydraulic cement concrete is defined as its ability to resist the weathering action, chemical attack, abrasion, or any other process of deterioration. This is according to IS. You have to write this. If you want to follow American Concrete Institute, which stand for ACI, this is their definition what they have given. Durable concrete will retain its original form, quality, and serviceability when exposed to its environment, as we have understood so far. Now, this is a temple which is famous for, which is Brihadeshwara temple in Tanjavur. It's almost 1000 years old and still it's standing tall, right? Just imagine how much durable this temple might be, right? And similarly, whenever we try to construct any house and all, how long we want our house to be? Of course, we want it to be more than 60, 70, even 100 years. But typical residential buildings, what we take, let us say 30 to 40 years, isn't it? So up to 30 to 40 years, this structure, what the house what I'm putting up, it should be durable in nature. So durable in the sense, there should not be too much of deflections, and also there shouldn't be cracks and all, there shouldn't be corrosions and all, there shouldn't be spalling of concrete and all, right? So this everything is related to the durability. In the same way, this is just for a house what I'm telling. Now imagine a statue of unity what I have. So when we put up a monument something like this, we want this monument to last long for thousands of years, isn't it? And just imagine the way this statue is put up. It's almost 182-meter height, and when the height is somewhere close to 182-meter, it will be subjected to heavy winds here. And also it is on the coast of river Narmada, and also imagine the exposure conditions and all, right? So this structure has to be more durable in nature. In the same way, this is the one of a project coming up in Mumbai, the statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And also, this is in Mumbai, and we know that Mumbai falls in the coastal region, and also there will be a lot of, you know, salt in the atmosphere, and also the chances of this getting decay over a period of time is more. But you have to take a lot of care so that this monument will not fail, and you'll and they are going to remain there for thousands of years to come. So, having said all these things, we'll try to see what is the significance of durability. A durable concrete has a long-term ability to resist wear and tear, to resist chemical attack, and to resist polluted atmosphere, and so negligible loss on repair and maintenance, right? So there shouldn't be a frequent maintenance of the building. Once we put up the structure, from durability point of view, it has to remain there and it has to perform for which it has been put up for. The durability increases the increased life of the concrete structure. Concrete should withstand the conditions for which it has been designed without deterioration over a period of time. A durable concrete surface do not require special care and also do not require time to time repair and maintenance. But today the atmosphere is going to be polluted, and everywhere the concrete casting has to be done in a different, apart from the normal atmospheric weather conditions and so the importance of durability of concrete is going to be increased day by day, and we have to take a lot of precautions when we pour the concrete and all, right? Yeah. So what are the factors which affects the durability? So the first, we have actually two, according to the syllabus what we are referring. One is the external factors affecting the durability, and then we have internal factors affecting the durability. So in the external factor, we have physical, we have chemical, and we have mechanical. So chemical, will try to see about the sulfate attack, the chloride attack, the acid attack and all. Then we have environmental, such as occurrence of extreme temperatures, abrasion, and electrostatic action. When I say extreme temperature, during the month of summer and all, the temperature will shoot somewhere close to 50-55 degrees Celsius. So that time there shouldn't be a very a significant change in the building and all, right? Next is attack by natural or industrial liquid and gases. So these are the three factors, external factors, on which the durability is going to depend. Next, coming to the internal, that is alkali aggregate reaction, because whatever aggregate we have, if there is alkali contents in that, and the reaction is going to happen, and because of that, the cracks and all are going to happen. So this is internal, from internal point of view. Next is volume changes due to difference in the thermal properties of the aggregate and the cement paste, because every time there will be change in the temperature and all, right? During the night time, the temperature will come down. During the daytime, the temperature will go to the maximum. So due to that difference in the temperature, each material will behave in a different way. As a result of that, the cracks and all are going to happen. So this is the second point. The third is the permeability of a concrete. Again, if the cracks and cracks all appears, then what will happen? The water will try to come inside, and if water comes inside the concrete, again it will start to react, and again a lot of corrosion and all other things are going to happen. So these are the different things on the durability of my concrete is going to depend. Now, if you refer the Indian standard, if you refer the Indian standard, there is a separate clauses given from durability point of view. So we'll try to see all those things. So coming to the durability of a concrete, you can try to go through this. A durable concrete is the one that performs satisfactorily in the working environment during its anticipated exposure condition during the service. And the factors influencing the durability, we have seen that. Along with that, you can try to write even these factors also. The factors influencing the durability include the environment, the cover to the embedded steel, the type and quality of the constituent materials, the cement content and the water cement ratio of the concrete, workmanship to obtain full compaction and efficient curing, and the last is the shape and the size of the member. Along with that, there are certain other points what is given in the Indian Standard Code Book. This is about the exposure condition. So we have altogether 5 different exposure condition. The first is mild exposure, then we have moderate exposure, then we have severe, we have very severe, and we have an extreme. So how do you understand all these things? Let us say you are constructing a building somewhere close to the coastal region. So if you are constructing it somewhere co- close to the coastal region, then you have to understand what is the exposure condition. That is concrete surfaces exposed to severe rain, alternate wetting and drying, or occasional freezing, wet or severe condensation. Along with that, if it is a very severe exposure, let us say concrete completely immersed in the sea water. This is for offshore structures and all. When you want to construct the structures in the middle of a sea and the ocean, in that case what will happen is structure will be always subjected to uh, water and all, which has lot of salts in that, right? So there the exposure condition becomes very severe for us. So let us say you are constructing a house somewhere in the coastal region and all, then what will happen, there will be alternate wetting and drying and all. So then my exposure condition will become a severe condition. Now coming to the extreme condition, surface of members in the tidal zone, where it is always subjected to liquid, there is aggressive chemicals and all. So this will become my extreme conditions. So based on this we'll try to decide what kind of building I'm constructing, and based on that these things will be finally decided. But for a normal structure and all, we usually go with a mild or a moderate exposure condition. Again, when we go for high rise buildings and all, right, in that case we have to decide whether it is severe, whether it is very severe or extreme condition. Now once you select severe, very severe, extreme and all, the next is that you have to decide what grade you want to use based on that. So for that, it's given in the Indian Standard Code book. Again, if you refer, it's very simple to understand. So let us say your exposure condition is mild, right? So if it is a mild exposure condition, we want to put up RCC structure. This is given for PCC. As of now, forget about this. Just concentrate on the RCC part here. So if it is a mild, then for mild, you have to use minimum 300 kg of cement per cubic meter, and the maximum water cement ratio what you can use is 0.55, and you have to go with a minimum M20 grade of concrete. So all these are given from the exposure point of view, that is keeping the durability in the mind. So whenever we put up a RCC structure, the minimum grade what we have to use is M20. Let us say you are putting your structure in the severe condition, right? The exposure condition is severe. So corresponding to the severe, in that case what you need to do, you need to make use of you have to go with minimum 320 kg of cement, and your maximum water cement ratio should be 0.45. You cannot go beyond 0.45. And in a severe condition, the minimum grade of my concrete is M30. Even if you're constructing a small house somewhere close to the coastal region which falls under the severe condition, the minimum grade you have to use is M30. But it all depends. It's not that everyone follows all these things. So again, it's given, all these are given from durability point of view. Similarly, if it is a very severe condition, then this is the maximum water cement ratio, this is a minimum grade that you have to use, right? So this is given in the table number 5 of Indian Standard Code book. Similarly, along with that, there is one more table which is given, nominal cover to meet the durability requirements. So if it is a mild exposure, then the nominal cover, will try to say what is concrete cover in the next slide. So minimum you have to give 20 cover. If you are putting if a exposure condition is moderate, then you have to go with minimum 30 cover. If it is a severe exposure, you have to go with a 45 cover. If it is very severe, then minimum 50 cover has to be given. And if it is very extreme, then you have to go with 75 So what is this 20, 30, 45, 50? That we'll try to see now. So this is called as cover blocks. These are called as cover blocks. So whenever we put our structure, we'll keep this cover block to that, right? So whatever we have seen the number, those numbers are written here. This is 25, this is 20, this is 40, then we have 50 then we have 20 and 25. Now let us say you are putting up a column, right? You're putting up a column. For the column, the cover block has to be, the cover has to be 40 minimum. So what we are supposed to do, we have to take this cover block, and this is 40 right? So this 40 will be kept here, and when you place the concrete, then there will be a gap of 40 between the outside of your concrete and to the rebar. So this gap what we have in between the outer face of your concrete to the outer of this rebar is 40 and that 40 we are going to keep with the help of this cover block. So this is given from durability point of view. Similarly, let us say this is a slab what I have here. So in the slab, usually we go with 20 as a clear cover. For the slab, we go with 20 So if I want to maintain this 20 you can see this, right? Otherwise, if you don't maintain this, if you directly keep it here, what will happen? It will come in contact. I mean, it will get exposed to the air, and as a result of that, the corrosion is going to happen in a rebar. And if the corrosion happens, then the durability of my structure is going to come down. In order to avoid, so if I want 20 I'll take this 20 that is this cover block. I'll keep this 20 like you can see they have kept it here. This vertical distance from here to here, it will be 20 Similarly, it is a beam here. So in the beam, what we try to do, we try to maintain 25 mm. So this is 25 mm here. So what you try to do, keep a cover block here. Now the gap between the outside of this concrete, once you pour the concrete, and to this, what we have, no, actually you have to take to the stirrup, outside of the stirrup. So this will be a 25 mm gap you are going to keep. That is given from the durability point of view. That is for cover. And similarly, these are called as cover blocks. As I mentioned, these are the cover block, right? So all these are the things that we need to follow when we do the execution. So but sometimes what happens, all these are just from a given in the code and all, but the same thing has to be put into practice. Now we'll try to say a few things here. Now see, this is a column what they have casted. So we have seen in column we have to keep minimum 40 mm as a clear cover. That is from this face of this rebar to the outer face of this column, it has to be 40 mm. Now what has happened here, you see, this side you are getting more than 40 mm cover, but here you see hardly you are getting any cover here. Now what will happen after this? So we have very little amount of concrete here. So after a few years, if there is a crack and all, then this rebar get exposed, and as a result of that the corrosion is going to happen, and the quality and the durability of my concrete structure is going to come down, right? Similarly, you see here what has happened everywhere. It's exposed, the rebar has been exposed, there's a corrosion here, you can see here as well, you can see here as well, right? So all these are the importance of providing the cover block. And we also need to keep durability in our mind, right? So again, we have just spoken of just one thing about the cover block and the clear cover. Other than that, there are many other things like sulfate attack, then we have chloride attack, acid attack and all. Those things we'll try to take up in the next lecture. We'll try to see what is sulfate attack, how it's going to affect and all. But everything is related to durability, not only the clear cover, there are other things which affects the durability. But at the end, what is going to happen? The entire time, the entire life of a structure is going to come down, right? So I hope you got an idea about what is durability. uh, how do you understand the durability, what is the practical importance of durability, what is cover block, why it has to be kept, right? Everything is given from durability point of view. So we'll see you back in the next lecture.